Hello, hello, hello. It's let's bring it down to hello because it's morning time and it's time for the morning sitting, or as Robert would later call it, the practice of doing nothing and or do nothing as hard as you can. Part of the Guitarcraft courses is a morning sitting, 30 minutes every morning. And why? Because we arrive at those courses very nervous and carrying so much tension in our bodies, and it really shows how much we are holding in our hands and arms because we really are really bad at holding guitars and even sitting in a chair for extended periods of time without getting extremely twitchy and uncomfortable. So what Robert is trying to do is teach us simply how to be comfortable in a situation where you might have to sit for a very long time in one place, and how to stay focused and attentive during that time. That's also the other big thing about the morning sitting. There are so many things about this. I must always begin these with a disclaimer. I am talking about my experiences in the Guitarcraft courses. I do not represent Robert Fripp or Guitarcraft or any of its wonderful people who I all love. But I'm a teacher and I know enough that might sound weird, but it's a simple legal thing. Cover your keister. There you go. So we would. Why would we do this? This is an easy one, because this is one of the often really misunderstood. Why are they sitting there? At a live show, we've had people go, "Do something! Why are you sitting there?" And they're wondering why we're just sitting there like this, doing nothing, for this extremely long period of time in live music on stage, which is in our about 10 seconds. But again, why do we do this? We're trying to get rid of that tension that's in our bodies, and more importantly, we're trying to take everything that isn't this moment out and to be in this moment now and to be in this space here. So it's on the board. We're going to do nothing from say 6 to 6:30. So people start assembling in the ballroom, and we are sitting. Sorry, let's do this the first time. That first night of the course, Robert told us we are going to tomorrow for 30 minutes sit and do nothing. So he led us in a little lesson, which was very cool. The 30 of us were in the library of the Claymont Court Mansion, and he told us simply to find a place or position in that room where we would be comfortable to sit without moving for the next 30 minutes. So cool. Some people shuffled around, some people sat on the floor, some people sat on couches. Robert at that time was sitting in a chair, and he started to lead us not something like, of course, these moments you don't forget. And he told us to, the words might not be exact, but it was something like he wanted us to bring an impulse of attention, an impulse of relaxation to different parts of our bodies. And it's a variation, real quick, on, you ever hear, if you can't go to sleep, just relax your this part and then this part. But he was very specific, and he told us to send an impulse of relaxation to our lips, and then an impulse of relaxation to our our jaws. And he started going over the different parts and musculature of the skull. And then he started to ask us to send an impulse of relaxation to our left shoulder or right shoulder. And then, again, I was a science teacher, so I know a little bit of anatomy and physiology. And we went down away distally from the body until we got to the hands. And that was really cool, because then he was very focused on the different parts of the hand. the middle parts and the phalanges. That's the bone part. Anyway, because you start feeling things when this happens, and he continued with this until it was I'm not sure exactly the order, but thorax, middle part of the body, legs, down to the thighs, lower legs, calves, feet muscles, and then I think he brought it all together and now send this impulse of relaxation throughout your entire body. And let me tell you, this often takes time. This is often you might not get it the first few times. I did not. To digress very quickly, one of my contact lenses fell out right in the middle of this very, very first lesson during the course. No one ever knows about this because I was sitting there trying not to be without a contact lens while listening to Robert give us these impulses of relaxation. The power of this cannot be overestimated. Who was that philosopher that said man's problems is caused by his inability to sit quietly in a room? Well, there's a lot of truth to that because Robert loves these aphorisms, and it is true. He asks us before we can do something, can we do nothing? And we find out very quickly on a course that most of us can't. We can't sit quietly. I mean, we can for a couple of minutes, but what if there's a circle, or if you're part of a concert? What if you're on a stage for 90 minutes? If you're twitching for 90 minutes and just drawing attention to yourself, you're doing a disservice to everyone else around you and the audience. So to learn how to sit in a fixed position in a chair is something that needs to be practiced by, well, not... This is something that a lot of people, you see it in waiting rooms, real life. Look around you in your waiting rooms. Look at yourself. I used to be that person, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah. Got my shoulders up to my ears in tension, and I can't stop talking, and I'm a walking ball of throbbing tension, just spraying my energy out into the universe, just... Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, right? We all see that guy. Don't be that guy. So much of Guitarcraft and so the master class is in just about anything. Yoga, basketball, welding. The first day you sit there, gross anatomy medical school, and you just sit there, and there's often a sort of ceremony where you just stand there, and that's for a reason. In most crafts, in most arts, to talk about that, you really do have to start. If you're going to start in this pure research thing that we talked about, you have to start at zero, and that's zero. That's the origin. That's where the X and Y axis meet, and we're going to begin there, and the Z. And so let's begin before we start sitting in a circle with these guitars so twitchy that we're literally knocking them into each other's heads. That's how twitchy we get. Let's learn how to sit in a circle with guitars and not bang the headstock into the person to your left. Simple. But again, yes, there are deep philosophical meanings behind all of this in yoga and philosophies and stuff like this, but it's a wonderful thing that many cultures around the world practice and a lot of people do not. And again, you can see them in a room. I used to be that guy who was very twitchy, and now I'm that guy who can sit for, I can listen to Fidel speak for as long as I have, and you sit there and you can just be like, Coda. Robert asks that you not close your eyes for one very, very simple reason. If you close your eyes, it's really easy to fall into that alpha, beta, lucid dreaming state and fall asleep. So we don't want to fall asleep and be snoring amongst the people, the other 30 people next to us as they're sitting. So instead of staring up, it seems when you're about at your point of like here, if you're looking up here, it's often a bit of carpet or floor, maybe 10 feet, 3 meters ahead of you. So that's where Guitarcraft Face comes from, because that's when you really do want to release all of this tension. You see that well, if you don't see it now, I'm going to look weird because I'm going to look frowny and dowdy and sad because I'm literally going to take everything out. So here's Twitchy guy. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. That was about 15 seconds of doing nothing. This works for real because you can feel the blood begins to be very noticeable in the extremities. Oh, anyone who has been to a Guitarcraft course can tell you. I can tell you when I'm sitting, you start to feel the pulse in your hands. You start to feel the blood running through the tissues. There's the aphorism, Robert. Oh, what's this weird thing about Robert asking, do you know what it's like to be alive inside your hand? No, I didn't until I started sitting for 30 minutes, and then I started realizing this thing was like under Novocaine, and now that I can relax it, now I can really feel, oh yeah, that's that muscle there that's been twitching for the last 30 years, because now I know what it feels like to not be twitching. Did you see I'm already off center and getting tense? So we center ourselves, we get in our position, so we're not back forward, and we're going to bring this up, and oh, there we go. The Alexander Technique teachers right now are looking at this and going, oh God, that's terrible. But it beats this. I'm already prattling on too much. This has been about the practice of doing nothing, the morning sitting, often, always, universally in Guitarcraft courses. This is one of the things you'll be asked to do. It will seem very boring sometimes in the beginning. 30 minutes might seem like a long time. You might need a butt donut to sit for 30 minutes in one spot without your lower legs falling utterly asleep from your femoral arteries being cut off by the sitting position you're in. Robert, of course, can do this without a butt donut. So trust me, Robert, we've been on that course sitting there going, oh God, this guy can do that like that, just sitting on his ass for 30 minutes like that. Oh, sure, master. Yeah, right. Ugh. Right now, I could jab a knife into my thigh and not feel it. That's how asleep my legs are. So we learn how to just find a position, and there you go. Have a good day, folks. Peace.